Yeah, so basically, the decision to try a different tack with pre-shop noshes and pre-flesh noshes came about through. It was unfortunate because they have been quite good, but the cordon chips or Anakin chips I had, there was a slight delay because they were taking a bit. She said it took a bit longer to do Gush's beef lasagna, which I saw the menu and Gusha went for.
Jack Purvis, great guy. Scott Purvis,
a lot of cheese on top.
He was the guy that
so,
he was going to go down, and his son,
I mean, when Carver's was consistent, that crunchy batter and the fish meat cooked to perfection. To go to Carver's was like, oh baby, it was like, oh yes.
They go down within 30 minutes of my dive, and they find the first missing crewman. And now
the visit,
to this bottom low,
which was now last Thursday,
but I'm a journalist.
Was a bit of a letdown. And I was talking to Gush, and she's like,
they promised the families, if we find anything, we won't mention it. That's
it'd be nice to try a bit bored with the place.
Tell people I'm going to forget anything.
So what I decided was,
you got to tell the story. So we told the story, and then in the documentary, I had the incredible responsibility to
3 places we do it on a rotation.
To the close-ups and the horrible
so,
stuff that we did have that we gave
like,
to the police. Part of our charter was
this
document
Saturday,
everything we find and send a copy of it to the Ontario Police through the Ministry of Ontario.
If you're available, we'll probably go to Volandis on the High Street. The Thursday when you're here, we'll go to Scalini's. And the next one, Carver's, then Volandis, Scalini's, Carver's. Because they all do kind of the same thing, they're all generally the same price range. They've all kind of put the prices up because they're probably random shit.
That's the only that's the only input that we really had with any of the family members.
But,
as soon as we hit the dock and all the press were lined up, they knew what happened. We had to tell somebody that
I do remember we went to Scalini's with you, Mr. Hall. The one, not the one in Brig. Which was a delightful little fish and chip place.
So I interviewed, got the first interviews
well,
with
the
Jack
one on
Scott,
just
and we
off
did a story
the High
on it,
Street.
and I did a whole series called Explored or Exploited to talk about how that is a delicate balance. Then they passed a law in Michigan that we couldn't show. You know, the whole law was anything less than 50 years old could not be recorded, which again is nonsense. That's been
it's just off where the Nat West is. Jerry Green Dog Rescue had a charity shop there, but they shut it down because it just won't. They weren't covering the rent and shit.
That's our First Amendment right. But we do
so yeah, it's on the same street as where the Columbia Coffee Shop used to be, which I believe now is a Turkish barber shop, which Scunthorpe is so in desperately need of. You can't have enough of these Turkish or Kurdish barber shops, like these vape shops as well. But
that's why my book took so long to get out, was because I wasn't going to write it if Shannon was going to write it. Absolutely, and I respect their opinions because
so
they never got to bury
this Saturday, which would be a pre-shop nosh, is going to be Volandis. I said the Thursday, which is a very rare midweek flesh, it will be Scalini's.
And I checked the whole stern myself. Yeah.
Which kind of helps because.
No.
Am I saying that?
It would have, all the architects said because of the
Scalini's,
non-watertight bulkheads,
if we have to go to the butcher's shop, we get free parking because you can only, because as you know before, the old paper ticket machines, you could go to a different place, a different car park in the same area. But with these ticketless machines, you can only stay like at one car park for free for 2 hours in Scunthorpe. If you go anywhere else, it's £2. Same with Ashby.
So I don't believe that the missing section, I think, is because
If
the
you
stern was still under power.
if you go
and it ran into
to
the front
like
as
the
that keel
car
bottom
park
broke out,
behind
we
the
know cargo
butchers
fell out and the stern
and
flipped over it and skidded because I
where
found
the
no cargo
Lindsay
in
Hospice
hatches
charity
1 and
shop
2.
is.
In fact, the Clelia
I don't know the
before
streets,
us,
I have to look
before
at the
us, went
streets.
down into hatch 2 and didn't realize they were going in there.
You go
There's
there,
no
first
cargo.
one's
It
free.
didn't nosedive.
But
There's
if you
no
go
way
to like
because we would have
Carver's,
10 tons of
which I think
cargo,
is
at least
Victoria
from hatch
Street,
1,
and
or
there's
from boat
another
1,
road
go
other
forward,
side.
it's not
There's
there.
two
So it
entrances
did it
and
on the
exits.
surface, broke, and
Then you
as
have to
it
pay
broke, the
£2
stern
because it's
kept
in the
going,
same
it
area of Ashby.
disintegrated the plates. And as it flipped upside down, this part went off course, and the bow section went
So-
sideways, not nose first, sideways into that hill, because the clay is all up on the
And
side.
if you choose to
It's
come
all
with
up on
us,
the port side of the ship. So say it
to
nosedived,
Asda,
stuck to the bottom, and the stern came up. I found all the time
because
that
obviously
behind
when
the
we go
shipwreck
back to
diving
Scunthorpe, we won't be going to like Carver's, Scalini's or Volandi's.
Oh, there's that.
We'll be going straight to
The guy sat above me in a bike seat, and I was on a mat. And
if
I
you want
had
to come with us,
multiple
just
portholes
walk
here, and a
around.
big forward
You're more than
portal, but it was filled
welcome.
with
And
water, so
after
it
we're
wasn't
shopped,
good enough for me to see out. But every
then,
porthole was a different view of
we'll
the
drop you
ship
off.
when we got alongside, and the letters filled 2 portholes of Edmund Fitzgerald.
So
we
yeah,
got
so just a
really
nice,
close to that
to have a nice
section.
change, you
And I
know.
realized as we went around the bow section, there was no taconite even in the clay area. There was some around the front side. The weirdest part
It's no
for me
offence to the
is
people at
hatches
Carver's.
2
We
and
are
3
still
by the
going to go
Coast
to
Guard. They said
Carver's,
3
but it'll
was
be
still
one
in
in
place.
3.
I found hatch 3
We're
at
going
the
to
stern.
rotate it
How
around to
does
keep
that
it fresh.
happen if it
So like,
nosedives?
yeah,
The only
so
way it
as
happens
it
is
happens,
breaks
it's
on
like,
the
like I've just
surface
said,
and flips upside down, and that cover, which is what, 2 tons, 5 tons, I'm not sure how
the
much
next
they weigh,
2 visits
it
to
went
fish
down
and chip shops
folded
will
and
be
landed, and I saw 3
other
and
than
2
Carver's.
painted on the hatch
And,
next to the
and
stern
we know
section.
Scalini's is
So
top
you
notch.
can't go like this and then blow a hatch and it
And
floats over 150
nice
feet to the
inside
stern
as well.
section. It happened on the surface.
The question is, you say there's no mark.